A woman I met in Tinder. This was just a week ago. I had been hooked on matching apps for a little while, and I had been dating and drinking with various girls, and when things went well, we went to a hotel. It was during this time that I met A. My first impression of A was that she was quite beautiful. To put it bluntly, she was my type of girl. We had a great conversation, and it was hard to believe that we were meeting for the first time. We were having so much fun that we lost track of time. I started to worry about the last train, but honestly, I was thinking, we're going to stay together until morning. However, I knew I wanted to have a long relationship with this girl, so I acted like a gentleman and said, "It's almost time for the last train. Shall I walk you to the station?" I said to her. "Untilda, I'd like to have a few more drinks. My house is close to here, so let's have another drink there." The answer came back to me, the one that all the guys in the world would want the most when they are out drinking with a girl. "What? Is it okay? At this hour?" I said, trying to keep as calm as possible. "I'm totally fine. I live alone." It was a perfect score. I decided to make the best of it. We left the store, bought some drinks and snacks at a convenience store, and took a cab to her house. Of course, I had condoms in my bag at all times, so there was no problem. Her apartment was rather stylish and modern. "She's got a nice place," I thought to myself until I entered her room. Her room was what is called an untidy person's room. Of all of them, that was one of the worst. Shoes and umbrellas were stacked on top of each other at the entrance. The room was also covered with empty convenience store lunchboxes and bottle trash. Underneath were bags and clothes scattered all over the place. She didn't seem to be bothered by the mess and made a place by separating them with her hands, put the bag she had bought at the convenience store there, and said to me, "Well, let's drink." I was inwardly a bit taken back, but we decided to start drinking anyway. The conversation was fun and lively, but I could sometimes smell the rotten smell of something mixed with her strong perfume smell. I thought to myself, why is such a normal, pretty girl's room so dirty? I wondered. After an hour or two, we were both pretty drunk and in a good mood, and even though we were in the garbage, we couldn't resist our sexual desires and had sex right then and there. The location was bad, but I was thinking how lucky I was to have sex that day with such a pretty girl. During the sex she was aggressive and our body chemistry was great. So I was definitely looking forward to a long relationship with her in the future. But then her attitude suddenly changed. When the sex was over, she turned around and started fiddle with her phone and stopped talking to me altogether. I would say, "What's wrong?" She just said, "Nothing." I wondered where she had gone from the lovey-dovey excitement she had just had. Suddenly I felt uncomfortable. I asked her if I could borrow her shower. She replied, "The shower is broken." She then became silent again. Inwardly I was thinking, "So you didn't take a shower?" I said, "Okay, then I'll use your toilet." After making sure she nodded silently, I headed for the bathroom. The bathroom in her house was a unit bath type, but it was also a terrible mess, and except for barely enough space for me to urinate, it was littered with unidentifiable garbage and smelled terrible. Even the bathtub was stuffed with trash. "It's not broken, it's just unusable because of the trash," I thought to myself. As I pissed myself, I thought to myself, what am I going to do after this? I felt a sense of discomfort at the edge of my vision. Or rather, it looked as if there was something that should not be there. It looked like there was a small hand sticking out of the garbage right around where the bathtub and the floor were set up. I thought to myself, what the heck is that? I bent down to take a closer look and saw that it was quite small, dark brown and dry. I strained my eyes to look at it, and sure enough, there was what looked like a fingernail. Heck. I didn't dare look at it any further. I told her, "Sorry. I've got something to do." and ran out of the room as if to escape. She didn't react in any particular way, just fiddle with her cell phone. I had no intention of contacting her again. From that day on, I began to have nightmares every day. I would hear the baby's voice coming from inside the bath, which was filled with what looked like black muddy water. The voices would get louder and louder, and when they reached their peak, I would wake up. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I've been having the same dream for a week now. To be honest, there's no punchline, but I don't know anyone who can perform an exorcism. I'm getting mentally ill. Hey, that's not a baby, is it?
My name is Sadako. I am a Japanese woman in my 20s and I love to listen to scary stories. I have a mental illness at work and am currently on leave, but I spend most of my day on YouTube playing scary stories. I am not sure about the situation in other countries, but in Japan there are countless stories of psychic experiences and strange people. When I ask my friends around me, have you ever had a scary experience? Most of them answer yes and even tell me about their episodes. I met a British friend who likes to hear strange stories as much as I do, and this inspired me to start this channel to spread Japanese horror stories to people overseas. Recently, translation apps have been developed, so I will do my best to upload videos at a high frequency. If you find any interesting stories, please subscribe to my channel and give me a high rating.